Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Martin Cliffe here and welcome to another video. Greetings from the UK, where I still am at the moment, although hopefully, fingers crossed, I won't be by the time you watch this. Now today I wanted to just talk about what principles of minimalism we can apply to music gear collecting and that kind of thing. Before we go any further, make sure you click that thumbs up icon down below, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, that would be very much appreciated. Okay, so it's always a difficult thing to be a musician but have a minimalist mindset, I guess you would say. Guitarists in particular, but drummers, bassists, keyboard players, any of these things, we like stuff. So these are things that I'm not saying that you have to take full-on minimalist approach to your gear at all. I don't, but there are principles that I apply when it comes to buying gear and selling gear. And obviously at the moment I'm in the middle of a big purge, a big downsize of my gear collection. I'm not saying you have to do that. That's entirely up to you depending on where you are in your life journey. But what I want you to just think about is a number of concepts, particularly when you come to buying new gear. Number one is don't rush into anything. I think this is true in all purchases and all stages of life, but do your research, find out exactly what it is you want and find a good deal for it, which isn't necessarily the cheapest price you find online. If you have a local music store that you feel a loyalty to and they're able to get something, and it's not a lot more expensive than you can get online, I very much encourage supporting that because we all need our local music stores. Because if you want some setup work or some minor repairs or minor mods done and you're not confident in doing that yourself, then you definitely need a local music store who is able to do that for you. So yeah, definitely support them. But obviously if they're charging 15-20% more than the next person, then they perhaps need to be a little bit more realistic in their approach. So that's something to think about. But definitely take your time, don't rush into any significant purchasing decision. Number two, I guess, is just to take a really serious look at your finances. Not just in terms of, do I have enough money in the bank to afford this item? But I think it's very important, and this is very much a thing from the financial minimalists, but it's good advice for everyone, is look at your income and outgoings over the period of the next 3 to 6 months and say, if I buy this today and I lose my job tomorrow, which hopefully wouldn't happen, but then, if COVID's taught us anything, it's that life is very much unpredictable. So if I was to lose my job tomorrow, could I afford to support myself and my family if necessary for the next 3, 4, 6 months until I'm able to get back on my feet in some kind of way? Now, for us, we are currently, and this is one of the reasons, although not the main reason, but one of the reasons why I am selling off quite a lot of high-end gear at the moment, is we're trying to regain that. We were at that stage where we had basically a year's worth of money set aside for living expenses, which was a fantastic thing to be, financial states to be in. And then we had to move continent during a pandemic, and that wiped us out. Not absolutely, but certainly, from going and having 11 or 12 months worth of living expenses to 1 or 2 months of living expenses, our finances took a major hit. So I'm trying as part of my gear sell-off to build that up. But also, life has settled down now and outgoings are not significant, so income is coming in and we will build back up. So we should be within a couple of months, hopefully, to a point where we have 6 months of living expenses again. That's a really good place to be financially for anyone. We're also very fortunate that we don't have any significant debts. We have paid off our house. Eva's paid off her student loan. We don't owe anything else. I just have a small student loan that I'm working on clearing over the next 12 months. So I could go out and buy a guitar if I had the money in the bank because I know that we're in a good stable position. But if you're not, if you literally only have enough living expenses to cover couple of weeks. Don't buy a new guitar, don't buy a new amp, put it off. Or maybe think about the concept that, again, is a good minimalist concept of one in, one out. What can I sell to make room, both financially and physically, for the product I want to buy? And I take advantage of things like the cheap listing weekends on eBay, which happens about every 4 to 6 weeks in the UK. I don't know about other eBay schemes. But if you can list something cheap and sell it, then you've got that space in your budget to buy the new thing, which is a really good place to be. So that's something that to me is worth looking at. One in, one out means that if I want to bring in another guitar, I need to sell a guitar. If I want to bring in another amp, I need to sell an amp. Now, I'm not in a position where I need to bring in another guitar or another amp for a long time, if ever, in my life at this stage. But I'm certainly making space for that if ever that need arises. Maybe at some point I'll need a jazz box or something like that. I don't know. So that's just something to think about. And I think the fourth and final tip, really relating the whole minimalist ideal to guitar collecting, is to always prioritize quality over quantity. This is something that I have mostly tried to focus on. There's been occasions when I felt I needed to have something, a Strat, eventually 4 Strats, which was a whole thing. But yeah, prioritize quality. It's far better to have one really great guitar than 3 mediocre guitars. At the same time, you do want to think a little bit about what you're doing with them. So if you are gigging in seedy pubs, maybe you want a cheaper guitar for that, because you don't want anyone to steal your really nice PRS or Tom Anderson or Sir or whatever it is. But at the same time, yeah, if, as most of us are doing at the moment, we are playing at home, buy quality over quantity. It will last longer, you'll be more happy, more satisfied with it, which hopefully will then save you money, because you won't lose as much money as you sell stuff. But it's just, yeah, something that I think is really key is you are a musician. You deserve to play a quality musical instrument, whether you are starting out on your journey or whether you are 30 years down your journey. Prioritize quality over quantity. So there we go. Don't rush into decisions. Think about your finances. Maybe consider the one in, one out rule so you don't end up with tons of excess clutter. And prioritize quality over quantity. Hope that resonated with some of you. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you click that like icon, subscribe to the channel, click the bell if you want to, although I don't know why anyone would really want to do that, but apparently it helps my metrics, so I'm all in favour of that. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Take care, guys, and have a good one.